Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. As I was telling you before, this is the book that really helped me create real change in my life and at the same time create change in people's lives, the people I work with as a coach, but also in every kind of change work. It doesn't matter if you're a coach or a therapist or a consultant, it doesn't matter. This book can really help you make a quantum leap in the way you create change. And this book is The Diamond Cutter. It's a book that talks about the ancient wisdom and how you can apply it in your life, in your day-to-day life, and in your business. The book tells the story of how the author, Geshe Michael Roach, applied this wisdom to start a business in the diamond jewelry industry, grew it from zero to hundreds of millions of dollars revenue, and then the business was sold to Warren Buffett, to his investment group. And after that, people started asking about his ways of managing and growing this business. So he wrote the book. I got the chance to read the book. As I told you, someone recommended me. And then I got to know him. And then I started to study and practice with his work and start to spread this work in my work also. And the book talks about the most important idea from which to create change is the worldview, is how to understand where reality comes from. And if you understand, the book describes the highest worldview from which to take action so that you will get your biggest goal, your highest goals, okay? So if you understand the worldview and you keep the worldview as much as possible, as much as you can, then the actions you take have more power, okay? So I will tell a little story of how to understand this highest worldview. It's not something that you have to believe. It's something that you think about, and after you think about it long enough, it will make sense, and after it makes sense, it becomes more of a belief that can, or conviction that can sustain your actions, okay? So it's nothing, you don't have to believe anything, you just watch and think about it, and then draw your own conclusions, okay? So the highest worldview that is described in the ancient wisdom, it's called the emptiness, or in Sanskrit the term it's shunyata. And the emptiness, they say it's the highest worldview. And I will use this thing to tell you this story that will help you better understand this highest worldview. So let's say I have this this cylinder here in my room, okay? And when I come in the room and I see this thing, what do I see? Me as a man, what do I see here in this I'm holding in my hand? Of course, it's a pen, because it can write, it can leave marks on your hand or on a paper. So for me, it's a pen, okay? But if a little puppy comes here in the room, and I will use this prop from my daughter's bag of toys. If a small puppy, cute puppy, comes into the room and he sees this thing before his eyes, what will he do when he sees this thing? Okay? The first thing you think about is he will chew on it, okay? So the next question is, who is right? Me as a man that I see this thing as a pen and I can write with it, or the little puppy that looks at this thing and starts to chew on it? Which one of us is right? What is this thing, a pen or a chew toy? And whenever I do this story in a room full of people, almost everybody says they're both right. For me, it works as a pen. It functions as a pen. And for the little puppy, it functions as a chew toy, okay? So, what happens next? I leave this thing here. I leave it on a microphone or on the table. And we all get out of the room. The door opens. The humans, all the humans go out of the room. And all the little puppy, they also leave the room, okay? And the room, at that time, the room is completely empty. So the next question is like this. When the room is completely 100% empty, what does this thing at that moment, what does this thing remain? A chew toy or a pen? In that moment, when the room is empty, okay? This thing, it's here. So of course, when I do this story in a room full of people, almost all of them said, they raise up their shoulders and say, okay, it's nothing. Or it's waiting to become something. At the moment, it's nothing, but maybe it's waiting to become something. Okay, and the human, the door opens and the human comes into the room. And when my eyes see this cylinder, what does it become at that moment? Okay, it becomes a pen, okay? When the dog comes, if the dog comes first and he looks with his eyes and meets this cylinder, it becomes a chew toy, okay? So the next question is like this. The pen, the idea of the pen, where does it come from? Does it come from its side or does it come from my side? Okay, that is the one important question. Of course, when you hear it, you think it must be coming from me. Okay, the idea of a pen, it must be coming from me, because if the pen was coming from itself, if it was announcing to the world, hey, I'm a pen, look at me, I'm a pen, everybody should see the same thing. They should see the exact same thing. Even the puppy dog, when he will look at this cylinder, he would say, oh, it's a pen. I should write a love letter to my girlfriend. But it doesn't happen like this. So we say in the book is described that the idea of a pen comes like this, and from its side it doesn't come any idea. And that is the real meaning of emptiness. So the real meaning of emptiness is that this thing does not exist in and of itself, truly, from its own side. It doesn't exist, and the way the thing exists, it's from a seed in my mind that opens, and from that seed a small image comes and covers this thing that from itself it's just like a blank screen, like an empty screen. So that is the idea of emptiness. This thing is like an empty screen that waits for someone to put the ideas on itself. Okay, so that is one really heavy idea. Okay, when you hear about it, it makes sense, but then you start to question this idea. Okay, so if the pen, it's not coming from itself, it's coming from a seed in my mind that opens up and an image comes and covers this empty cylinder, empty screen. It gives the idea that could mean that if I close my eyes and I think about, let's say, positive thinking, I'm doing some positive thinking, I want to switch the idea in my mind. Instead of seeing this as a pen, I want to see this as a diamond. Okay, do you think I can do this? Do you think I can just close my eye and repeat and do positive thinking, do mantras, do prayers, do whatever incantations, and I want to see this as a diamond. This is a diamond. It's not a pen. It's a diamond. I'm doing some stuff to change his appearance. I open my eyes. Damn it, it's still a pen. It hasn't changed a bit. So you see, people want to change. We all want to change. We wish things were better every day, from morning to evening. We wish things were better. We even practice. Some of us. I practiced positive thinking a lot. I practiced affirmations. I practiced some suggestions. I practiced a lot. But when I open my eyes, the reality is solid. It haven't changed a bit. So what does this mean? It's the same. It's still coming from me. The seed is still opening in my mind, and the image opens and covers this thing. It's the same. But there are other energies, like a potential that forces me to see this as a pen. So this type of potential, we plant it in our mind by every action, words or thoughts that we have. So this tree plants the seeds in our mind, and when the seed grows, it gives the result, okay? But it's not at the same moment. It's not really like immediately. It can take some time for the seed to grow. And if you remember this idea about emptiness, about the emptiness of a pen, now we put the pen on the side, and instead of the pen, we bring every other situation or person or things in our life. They all exist the same way. They are not coming from their side, they're coming from our side. So if we learn how to work with seeds, with mental seeds, if we learn how to plant the good seeds and take out the bad weeds, then we can create new realities in our life. The seeds will grow, and they will force us to see a different reality. If, for example, you want to plant a new partner in your business, let's say, or in your life, a romantic partner, you just learn how to plant the seed. And when the seed grows, you will be forced to see yourself in a relationship. Then there's another discussion of how to plant the good seeds for having a happy relationship. Okay, that's another discussion. But the first thing, you need to have the seed, to have someone, to see someone as your partner. Okay, so this is the main idea in the seed system, the highest worldview from which to take actions and from which to start the change work. Because you see, everything comes from seeds, okay? Every perception in our life about something, and also about ourselves, the way you see yourself, you instead of this pen, put your whole body and mind, okay? And the way you see yourself, the way you think about yourself, the way you think about your potential to grow or to reach your goals, the way you see everything about yourself comes also from seeds. So when we work with this type of wisdom, we can really create change in our life, in ourselves, but also in our reality. And the good news is that if you got an aha moment, if something clicked when you heard this story, that means that you have a real hope of change. You have a real method of creating change. The bad news is that to really understand this idea, the idea about emptiness, and how to apply it in everything in your life, about everything, every goal, every situation, every person, you need to repeat this pen story at least 3,000 times. So, okay, now you heard it one time, so you have 2,999 times more to repeat it. But every time you repeat the pen story, something clicks in your mind, something shifts. You get new ideas. You get inspiration of how to plant good seeds and how to take out the bad weeds. So yeah, you need to repeat it, you need to study it, you need to contemplate about it, and then apply the seeds, apply the method of planting seeds and taking care of the seeds, so when they grow you will be forced to see the change in your reality. You cannot force change by like a puppet master, like moving some actors on a stage, or some pulling some strings, and you say, okay, I can create change outside of me. No, the real change, it's created by working on the seeds, and when the seeds grow, they will force you to see something different in your reality. So this is how I work in my practice, with the seed system coaching. But also it can be applied with any type of change work. This idea, if you really dig deep and understand it, it can save you a lot of trouble, as it did for me. A lot of headaches. I forgot about a lot of headaches about change, and I took it step by step. Whenever I have a challenge, whenever I want to reach a goal, I take it step by steps. And we'll talk more soon on the techniques of how to plant the good seeds we need in our change work. See you soon.